think is recording now. All right. You guys are adventurers throughout the material plane. It's been thousands of years since the Chaos Wars, and everything's at its peace. You each received a summons to the Damati Empire asking your aid. Murin, what were you doing, or where were you when you received your summons?
Murin has been spending a few days at one of the observers' bases on the material plane after an extended period in the Feywild dealing with an issue there.
Okay, so this figure approaches you, cloaked. You can't see their face or anything like that. Hands you a letter, and by the time you look up from looking at the seal, the figure is gone.
Well, that's very suspicious. It feels like this might have to do with some planar travel, because not everybody can just disappear. So I will gather my stuff and I will make haste.
All right. Amadi, what were you doing when you received your letter?
For the past 6 months, I was conscripted into the Baron's service on the outlying province around Damati. Had not made my way to the capital as of yet, but was slowly moving west towards that direction, working for this Baron or that Lord, just trying to make a name for myself and earn a little money. In the last 6 weeks, I had been helping the Baron build an orphanage for small children that were displaced during the wars with the tribes of barbaric Northmen in recent times, while also helping fight back some of these barbarians in the Baron's service as well. So I would have been probably, with hammer in hand, helping to build the frame of this orphanage house. Shirtless, of course, because I never wear a shirt. Why would I wear a shirt?
All right. So yeah, again, you were approached by a figure who handed you this letter, and you look down at the seal.
As he approaches, I sense his approach just like out of the peripheral of my vision, and I just reach my hand back and ask him if he can hand me the heavier hammer.
He hands you a letter instead.
I grab the letter and look like I'm going to hit a nail with it, but that won't work. So I glance at the seal and then turn around to see who it is that handed me this letter.
There's nobody there.
Some kind of sorcery this must be then. I'm not unfamiliar with sorcery, as I have had friends who could cast powerful magics over the course of my adventures. I would break the seal immediately and step back from my work and read the letter.
All right, and it's the letter that's in your handout. You each should have the letter that I sent you in your handouts.
So I would finish the workday and then make my way to my Baron's mansion or palace or abode or wherever he stays, and say, hey, since you pay taxes to the Empire, I know that I swore allegiance to you for the time being, but it seems I am being summoned to the Central Empire, and I must take leave if I have your permission.
He will give you permission to go and deal with what you have been summoned for.
I bow deeply and thank him, and I will return when my service to the Emperor is complete. And I go and prepare my horse, Kichi, for the journey, do a few stretches, and then do a flip in the air and land on my saddle and begin riding. Awesome.
All right. Talcash.
I pack light because I don't have to eat food or water, so I just have my stuff.
Talcash, what are you doing when you received your letter?
Just a few hours ago, me and my female companion, Denari, had just finished up clearing out another nest of vampires and blood cultists. Realizing my brother was not among them, I am now sitting in an inn playing chess with Denari while drinking my sorrows away.
So you're in the bar?
I'm at an inn.
Well, yeah, you're like, where are you in your room? At the, where?
We would be at a corner table.
All right.
One where we have view of all the windows and doors.
All right. A hooded figure approaches your table, lays a letter in front of you, and walks away.
I just eye him slowly as I pick up the letter. And as he's walking away, I would probably do a divine sense just to make sure he's not one of them.
You don't sense any celestial, fiendish, or undead coming from this figure.
I relax a little and I proceed to open the letter.
All right, and it's the letter that is in your handouts.
It appears I might be busy for a few days, Denari. Might have to finish this game later.
Why? What is it?
It appears to be a summons. Looks like let's see. Please check in at the Golden Bowl Inn in the Noble District. The Dramati Empire. Wonder if they have a vampire problem.
In the seal, the symbol on the seal, it is of the official imperial seal from the Emperor. And you guys would know, it is common knowledge that the Empire is one of Bahamut and Tiamat's spawn. Is like the Diamond Dragon has claimed that city kind of his territory. So that's why the symbol is a bit of a dragon. I was looking for like one that would fit, but the dragon worked. But so yes.
This must definitely be important. I'll have to definitely look into this.
All right, you pack up your things and you head out.
How close is it to the 26th? I mean, do we have enough time to make it there?
Yes, you will all have enough time to make it there. So I'm letting you guys kind of get, role play what day it is, but you will all arrive there in plenty of time, knowing your guys' locations and everything like that. It seems like these letters have been planned specifically for your exact situation.
By the way, when I summon my greater steed to make my travels, what would I be riding on?
It is a majestic horse. However, it has golden armor that represents that of a golden dragon.
Oh, perfect. I would mount my magnificent steed. We'll just call him Pride Song for now. And we'll take off.
All right. Elliot, what are you doing when you receive your letter?
So they're some off in the forest somewhere. There's a little no-name town, and in that town is a mansion that's been abandoned due to a a murder that occurred a few years ago. It's near midnight, and Elliot's sitting in the master bedroom around a candle looking at a spirit board, and for the past 3 nights it's done nothing. But tonight, he asks his question for like the millionth time, and the little triangular indicator starts to move, and it just kind of goes to random letters as if the ghost is trying to learn how to use it. And it stops, and it starts to move coherently, and he hears a knock at the front door, and the indicator stops, and he waits for it, and then there's another knock, and the indicator doesn't move, so he walks downstairs and opens the door and finds a letter addressed to him. With nobody outside, he closes the door, goes back up to his spirit board, and the ghost seems to have disappeared. So he reads the letter and heads in that direction with his dog, Grim.
All right.
Unless you want a cloaked figure to hand me a letter.
It's however you guys wanted to do it. If you just wanted a letter to be there, that's perfectly fine. You guys each make your way to the Imperial City. Murin, with you being able to travel really quickly through the plains, you would probably arrive at the city first.
How tall are those walls?
They are about 100 feet tall.
Awesome. So with Step of the Wind, I could just run up them. Sweet. Just thinking out loud.
But there is a gate there. So Murin, what do you do when you arrive at the city?
So I will step from one plane to the next, just outside the city. And I will approach the gates. I don't know if I'll have any trouble with the guards.
No. You enter in through the gates. Mainly, you enter in through the lower district. You know, where most of the common folk and everybody lives. They don't really give you much trouble there.
I don't expect them to give me much trouble. I am packing this massive heavy crossbow and plenty of ammunition. Though I am wearing what looks like demon hides as well as charms from different material planes, so I kind of stand out.
Yes, you do stand out, but when you get to the gate, making your way up to the noble district, you see the guards there, but they don't stop you. They're most likely, you assume that you may be with the college. That's because of how way you're decked out and everything like that. So they're not giving you much trouble. And the gate's open. People, the common folk and whatnot, can travel to and from the noble district. So it's not really closed off at this point to anybody. So they're not going to give you any problems.
I will continue to make my way towards the inn.
All right, you get to the inn. It's easy enough to find. There's a big old sign there's a sign out there that says the Golden Bowl, and it has an image of a golden bowl. The weather, Amadi, is right now is like fall weather, so it is a little chilly out. The leaves are starting to change color.
Okay. So normally I go shirtless, but I am not immune to cold, so I will wear a cloak.
Okay.
I picture you just put a scarf on.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm not immune to the weather, but I don't mind it so much.
So, Murin, do you walk in?
I walk in, but before I do, I say, "I enter," and I will knock on the frame 3 times.
Okay. You knock on the frame.
Yes, and then I stated that I was entering, and so I will now enter.
Okay. So you enter into the inn, and you see this. You see you seem to be the innkeep behind the desk and whatnot. She's looking down doing paperwork. She is an elf.
I will go up to her and I will just place the summons on the table.
She takes it, looks at it. She will fold it up and put it away in a drawer. Follow me. And she will lead you up the stairs to a room.
As we go up the stairs, I'm only taking the even numbered steps.
Okay. She pays you no mind at all. Once she gets you to your room, and it's a very nice, elegant room. There is a big bed, desk and drawers and cabinet and everything. And she says, "Please remain here until you have been gathered. Dinner will be brought up to you shortly."
I will say, "Who else?"
She doesn't respond.
Then I will go into the room, saying, "I enter." Knock 3 times on the frame before I go in.
Okay, you enter, and she closes the door behind you and locks it.
So it's locked from the outside.
You think that this room it's locked from the outside.
Right? I will just make myself comfortable.
All right, yeah, and there is a big old window too, and everything like that, so you could peer outside. But you also get the sense that you're not in any sort of danger right now, as well. Elliot, you will most likely be the second closest to the city. So, what do you do when you arrive?
So Elliot has probably hitched a ride on the back of a wagon somewhere. Very weird in his, plate mail and his big dog. But he'll eventually find his way to the inn if he doesn't have any trouble along the way.
Nope, you don't have any trouble whatsoever.
When he gets to the inn, he'll probably sit down and have a drink and just kind of wait for 30 minutes to an hour just to see if somebody else shows up with a paper like that, just to kind of judge who else he might be working with or things like that.
Okay, you can go ahead and give me a perception check. Being in the noble district, you do see there's not a lot. You're dressed more like how you are in your photo. You're dressed like an adventurer. Nobody really stands out until you see what seems to be a half elf in plate armor. Talcash.
Yes.
You find your way to the Imperial City. And you are making your way up in the noble district.
I'm just walking through on my steed slowly, taking notes of everyone nearby. Do I know this city well?
You've probably been here being as a paladin of Bahama. You have probably frequent this city a bit, as there is a big cathedral where the Diamond Dragon resides most of the time. And that...
With that in mind, then I know where I'm going.
But you have never been to this inn before.
So as I'm coming closer to where this inn would be, do I know where the inn is at? Isn't that a good question?
Yeah, you would know where it's at. And if you would ask directions and everything like that, as you don't really spend your much time in the Noble District. You have been there before, but you've never really explored every nook and cranny there is. So, you quickly find the inn. And outside, you see this black figure in black armor and whatnot standing outside.
I didn't say I was standing outside. I went in and I got a drink and I sat at a table and I'm waiting to see what approaches the bar.
I thought you were outside. That's my bad. So yeah, you see this elf walk through the door. This armored elf, half elf.
Okay, that's kind of unusual for the Noble District, so I'll keep an eye on him. But if he walks up to the bar and like puts his paper down, I'm gonna step up next to him and put my paper down. And basically, I want to go in with somebody else, so I'm not like alone going into an unusual space.
Okay. So he does. Talcash, what do you do once you enter in the inn?
I would step in, kind of look around the whole inn before walking up to the bar and setting the leather down. So just you go up to know who's all in there.
You go up to the front desk and everything, and you see the elven woman. She's doing paperwork as well and whatnot. And
I quietly place it down, not really saying a word.
All right. She looks at it, takes it, puts it in a desk drawer. Please follow me.
So when I see Talcash put his down, I'm going to stand up and kind of put mine up there. Me too.
Oh. She takes it, looks at it, goes back behind the desk, puts it in the drawer. Please follow me. And Elliot, you've been in the city before. You've been trying to get into the college, into the necromancy, in the necromancy section of it. You've been trying to get approved. So you've been in the city before, but so far you have not been approved to help with the research.
Okay. And I'll walk with Talcash.
All right. You follow her up the stairs, and you see, and she leads you to a room, and she points to you, Talcash. This is your room.
Very well. And I'll enter the room.
Please remain here until you are collected. Dinner will be brought to you shortly. She closes the door and she locks it behind you. Elliot,
and I'm the only one in this room?
Yep, you're the only one. Elliot, she leads you to another room. This is your room.
Why are you splitting us up like this? I thought we were supposed to be a group. Is he not here summoned the same as I was?
She just patiently waits for you to enter.
I'm gonna stand and wait for an answer.
Please enter. Your questions will be answered shortly.
Very well. Elliot's frustrated and came away from my spirit summoning for this and not even show up and so Elliot's a little frustrated, but he'll go inside.
Once you enter,
whistle for Grim.
She and Grim will enter in as well. I forgot you had a dog. You enter in and she goes, please remain here until you are collected. Dinner will be brought to you shortly. And she closes the door and locks it behind you. Amadi, you are outside the city gates.
I will ride up to the gate and hail the guards at the gate and say, "Is it like in the image here where it's dusk, almost evening?"
Yes.
Okay, so I say, "Pleasant evening to you folks. I hope the city gates are not locked, and I may be allowed entrance."
The gates are open. Gates don't close till sundown.
Then I'm just in time. Thank you so much. And I'll ride up closer and I'll say, "So, I've heard tales of this fantastic inn. Its legend has grown far and wide. It's called the Golden Bowl Inn. Could you please kindly point me in the direction? This is my first time here in the city." Is this city called Dramati? What is the name of this city? Would I do that?
Right now, it's just the Imperial City. I've been horrible at names.
Okay, that's fine. I can say this is my first time in the Imperial City, and I'm just a humble carpenter looking to satisfy my curiosity about the legend of the Golden Bowl Inn.
Give me a deception check. Are you a carpenter? Is that your background?
I am a carpenter.
Oh,
yeah.
My apologies.
I am in the Carpenter Guild.
All right.
I am a guild.
It's in the Noble District. Easy enough to spot. It's one of the only few up there. If you need more help directions, don't be afraid to ask. But those gates closed a little earlier, so you might want to hurry.
Well, if they don't mind me trotting my horse quickly through the streets, I will try not to knock over any commoners. Good day to you, sir. You do your job very well, and you look noble indeed. And I'll ride on past the gates and make my way to the Noble District, and looking forward to the fact that noble people usually pay more than commoners. I should make a pretty penny on this job. So, I mean, I guess if I got lost, I would ask for directions, and I'm polite to everyone I meet. When I get closer to the inn, though, I do want to look for a stable nearby. Does the inn have a place to stable horses?
There is no stable at the end in the Noble District. Most likely you'll find one in the Common District, right before the Noble District. So you can find one easy enough at the gate between the Noble and the Common District.
Okay. Well, I would stable my horse at the nearest stable to the Noble District then. I did bring some money with me, so if I have to pay a little extra for the stabling, I'm okay with that as long as they take good care of my horse. And I say that I will be back for it probably in the morning and make my way to the inn.
All right. You make your way up the Noble District. Being your first time, you do ask a friend, a guard for help, and he points you in the right direction. And as you kind of walking in, the sun is going down, it is getting night, and you see the gate between the Common District and the Noble District shut.
To try not to attract any undue attention, I do force myself to walk as slow as possible because my movement speed is 55, and that might seem like I'm running everywhere I go to normal people. So I do try to be careful not to, dash through the streets.
Right. And, go ahead.
Yeah, but I approach the inn.
All right. You enter. You find it easy enough. You enter in, and you see a elven woman behind the desk doing paperwork.
I approach the desk. It's not a bar. It's a desk.
It's a front desk. There is a bar. There's a bar, restaurant, and then you got the inn. But there's a front desk at the front entrance.
So I will approach the desk for the inn and bow to the woman that I see in front of me and say, "Good evening to you, Miss. The beauty of the elves is always more breathless up close."
Why, thank you. May I help you?
Yes, you most certainly can, as I was told that you could. I was given this letter, and I pull out the letter, and it has a strange seal on it that I don't recognize, but I unfurl it and show it to her. It said that I was supposed to present this to you.
She takes the letter, looks in it, she puts it in a drawer, and please follow me. and she walks around the desk and leads you up the stairs.
I gladly follow, but then ask her if there's been any trouble has there been any trouble in the Noble District? Does the Emperor frequent this inn himself, or I'm a little confused as to why I wouldn't have been summoned to the palace.
She does not give you an answer. She goes to a door and opens it up and says, "This is your room."
I bow and say, sometimes no answer is an answer. But be at peace, my lady. And I enter the room.
Please remain here until you are collected. Dinner will be brought to you up shortly. And she will close the door and lock it behind you.
I say right before she closes the door, dinner is unnecessary, but tea would be nice. And then she can shut the door, but that's fine.
Shortly after you arrive, Amadi, about an hour or so, you each hear a knock on the door, starting with Murin. She knocks on your door. She opens it and she brings you in this lovely duck dinner with a hot beverage.
I will accept it.
And she will bow and close the door and lock it behind you. Same thing, Talcash, you hear a knock on your door. She opens it up and she presents you with a duck dinner.
Most appreciated.
She bows and she leaves and locks you in. Same thing, Elliot, you hear a knock on your door and she opens the door and presents you with a duck dinner.
Why have I been summoned here?
She gives you no answer as she sets down the plate on the desk and leaves and locks you in the room.
Can I examine this room? I just want to make sure I'm not getting spied on by some glyph or wizard.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Wow, freaking A.
Nice roll.
Yeah, I know, with a +8 too. You go up and down every nook and cranny. You open up the wardrobe. You're looking everywhere. You do not see any kind of scrying or anything like that. You don't see nothing. You don't think you are being watched.
Okay, I kind of settle down a little bit, but make sure I do. And yeah, I'm like a ghost hunter, so I don't have like the radio channel, so I gotta detect even the slightest noise.
All right. Found all the dust in this. God damn it, Murin.
Mysterious stains, I like that. Under the black light, they really glow.
God. Amadi, you hear a knock on your door.
I am sitting crisscross in the center of the room with my eyes closed and my palms upward, meditating. But I will break my meditation momentarily and say, please, enter.
You see the woman enter and present you a duck dinner.
It's the same, the innkeeper again?
Yes.
I'm sorry, did you say yes?
Yes.
Okay, I say, I can never get used to that. Your beauty caught me by surprise once again.
She just gives you a smile and presents you the duck dinner with a hot beverage.
Is the beverage just hot water? What is the beverage?
It is tea. Being in the Noble District and everything like that, you are being presented with a dish like commoners. Well, you have to pay a few gold pieces in order to get, and you guys aren't paying at all.
Excellent. I thank her for the tea. And really, you could have saved the life of that poor bird, as I did not need to consume it. but peace be with you. Again, your eyes speak volumes, my lady. Have a nice evening.
She nods, but she does leave the dinner on the desk, and she leaves and locks the door behind her.
Okay. I'm sure it's more for their protection than mine.
Hours go by. It is now going late in the evening. 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock. 12. 1. And you guys have not been answered until around 2:30-ish. You each hear a knock on your doors.
Is it loud enough to wake me up? Because I would have been sleeping by then.
Yes.
I think. Do I need to sleep? I don't even know. Yes, I do need to sleep.
Everybody needs to sleep. Well, unless there's something else, but yeah, we had that discussion earlier. But yeah, you do each hear a knock, and even if you are in a deep sleep or whatnot, you do wake up from the knock.
Elliot's getting frustrated again. He's just like, this is the second time this person has interrupted me at 2 a.m.
But nobody enters. You just hear a knock, and you all hear clicks on your doors.
I will roll out of bed and approach the door and kind of just put my mouth up to the door and say, "Who is it?"
You do not get a response.
Oh, well then, I mean, I can't open the door anyway. It's locked.
You heard a click.
Oh.
I take the click sound as a sign that we're finally being summoned. So I'll begin to redon my armor, make sure everything is situated, and then I will go for the door and see if it opens.
It opens.
Elliot's gonna sit there for a few minutes, like, you made me wait, I'm gonna make you wait. But eventually he'll also start donning his armor as well.
You did say to be here by dusk, and it's the middle of the night, but hopefully you have a good explanation, and I'll open the door.
Alright, you open the door and you see a hooded figure standing at the end of the hallway.
Ah! The carrier pigeon!
Ern will also have donned his stuff and open the door.
Are you here to deliver another message?
You do not get a response. See, only you and Mirren are the only ones that exit through the door. And Amadi, you see Mirren open across the hall from you.
I nod to him. Do I see the strange figure in front of his room too? Like there's two of them?
No, there's only one, and he's at the end of the hallway. Like he went and knocked on each of your doors.
Oh, well then I'll look at Mirren, and then I'll look to the strange figure and kind of raise an eyebrow at Mirren. Like, were you summoned as well? Kind of without saying it.
Ern will say, summoned.
Ah. I feel like we're going to have great conversations, friend. And I turn and face the image and well, I hope it's not just the two of us. And start walking towards this
point.
Guy.
My arm is situated. Were you all summoned as well?
Indeed. By that strange figure at the end of the hallway.
Mern will nod.
The Emperor surely has some unusual messengers. Does he not?
Indeed. And my eyes might flash yellow for a second as I divine sense.
So hearing all the talking in the hallway, Elliot's gonna walk out there like, finally, somebody who talks about something.
My sentiment exactly, friend. These messengers and innkeepers sure aren't a talkative bunch, are they? At least the gate guards were talkative.
Talcash, you do not sense any celestial, fiendish, or undead.
Is there lit in here by candles, or do I need to produce some light?
There will be some low candles, And once you all have collected yourselves out in the hallway, the figure kind of bows, turns around, and starts walking down the stairs.
Just another question. Would we know each other, like Murren the Plane Walker?
You
or
would
anything like
probably
that?
have heard stories of each other, but you guys have never actually met each other.
Ah, okay. Well, based on the stories I've heard, it seems I would say aloud. It seems I am in esteemed company, as I've heard of your exploits, though never traveled with you before. It is an honor, and I bow to each of them.
Vern will just give a nod in response.
I've heard of you as well.
Maybe
good
when
things,
this
I hope.
is dealt with, we can have a drink and talk about adventures that we've each had.
Well, most of us can talk. It seems that Murin fellow is just as silent as the rest of the people here in the Empire.
Mern will make the zipped lips across his face, and then he will shrug.
Maybe if we get a few drinks in him, his lips will lighten up, huh? And I'll elbow Talcash. Like jokingly. Just a little elbow jab.
It's possible. Interesting attire, though.
Who knows what those planeswalkers are talking about?
You each hear a down the stairwell.
Ooh, is it the messenger?
Yes.
Shall we proceed?
They do make noise. I think we'd better, because if he makes another noise, who knows what might happen.
Whistle for Grim. Like, come on, boy, let's go, Grim.
I tend to stay in the middle of the group as much as I can. As we're walking down, I usually let the heavier armored people go first, but I follow right behind them.
Mern is going to take up the rear position.
Okay.
Since I did get up right out of bed, by the way, I don't have a shirt on. I look just like my picture.
That doesn't bother him, whoever. I mean,
as long as it's not cold in the inn. I mean, I was in my PJs, I'm just walking down.
No, it's warm enough, It's just not like you're outside in the cold, so you're fine.
Would we? Well, I hope we don't need our hands. Did you insinuate that we should all have all of our gear and everything, or are we just getting up in the middle of the night?
You guys are just getting up in the middle of the night. Everybody else just donned their armor on their own.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would have thrown my belt around my waist. That's really all I need. I carry a belt pouch, and my belt has my shurikens in it.
Okay. So you guys follow the hooded figure down to the restaurant area, and he leads you into the kitchen in the back, where then he leads you down into the cellar.
As we're following him,
but
I just want to make sure I'm making notes of the path we're taking, and do I see other people up and about? Or is it just us?
It is dead. You guys are the only ones.
Okay, I just make sure to take note of the route we are walking.
I also want to listen. If there was any kind of common room or bar room, I assume I'm not hearing any commotion from there?
Yeah,
or am I?
You perk up your ears just to make sure you is silent. You get the feeling that you guys actually might be the only ones in the inn at the moment.
Okay. For a popular inn, that seems strange, but I'm used to strange.
I'm used to strange as well, but not normally meeting a potential client. This is very unusual.
So you guys go down into the cellar, where he walks up to a wall. From there, you see, you don't see it, but it seems like the figure puts his hands up, and then the wall reveals a secret door. And he kind of waits he steps aside and kind of waits for you to all enter.
Did that figure enter, or did they open the door and step aside?
He opened the door and stepped aside.
What do you think? You think he's gonna lock us in like he did with the rooms?
I suppose he could, but locked doors have not usually prevented me from exit in my previous adventures, and it seems like a lot of you could handle a locked door as well. So far, I don't sense anything that we should fear.
And you do see
a bit more than just a locked door, but I'll trust that you know how to get out.
You do see it seems like a dark corridor, but there is a lit candle stick on the shelf, a single lit candlestick.
I will say my command word, Kala, and my bracer will glow with the gem, shedding light in a 30-foot bright light and 30-foot and dim 30 after that, like a lantern.
Okay.
So my arm is glowing.
I'll proceed in and just grasping the hilt of my blade, I just lift it slightly as it gives off light and just let that little bit of light shine as I walk through.
Okay.
Aaron will go up to the door and he will knock 3 times on the frame and he says, "I enter."
And Elliot will just walk through.
Sure.
Come on.
Okay. The figure, after Elliot walks through, enters right behind you, Elliot, and closes the door. You can't see again his hand or whatnot, but he closes the door behind him, and you don't see the seal anymore. Even though you guys had your lights lit, he goes up, picks up the candlestick, and makes his way to the front and starts to lead you down the corridor.
More follow the leader, I guess.
Does it seem strange to any of you that we were not summoned to the palace? Does the Emperor perhaps use this cellar as a secret meeting place, do you think?
That's only under the assumption that it was the Emperor who invited us.
Did any of you recognize the seal on the letter? For I did not.
I did recognize the seal, but that just means someone within the Empire might have used it.
Ah. Well, I guess I was hoping that the Emperor himself had heard of me, of course, and needed my help, but as long as the pay is good, I shrug my shoulders.
It's also possible that whatever the problem is, it's one that needs to be kept a secret and handled quietly.
Mern will point to Talkesh and nod.
Wise words indeed. I'm in good company then. I follow your lead.
You follow the figure for what seems to be a little bit. He goes down some stairs and goes up to another wall, and it seems like you now entered the sewer entrance, the sewer area.
Oh.
You guys exit, he closes the door behind you and continues leading with his candlestick.
It's always gotta be a sewer.
Do we have to walk through the sewage, or can we walk on the side of it?
You follow his path, and you do not have to step in any sewage or whatever.
Good, because I didn't bring any shoes, and that's just gross.
But it seems like the amount that you guys are walking you guys are all walking quite a bit away from.
Just to make sure that I just want to make sure that our guide does appear, like a race, and he's not I want to make sure he's leaving footprints or things like that. That he's not just a unseen servant or something.
If you pose the question, I would let you know that I regularly am tracking and sensing undead, and I've gotten nothing from him. He is fine.
That just proves he's not a zombie.
You haven't seen his face, but you have seen his hand. It does seem, like a humanoid hand. It does seem like it's an actual person.
I'll start questioning, like, where are we going? And I'm gonna talk to him like I'm talking to a spirit, and I'm just like, where are we going? What is your name? What is your purpose? And just trying to get a reaction from it.
You don't get any reaction. You are just getting silence.
I know that we've gone underground and through a cellar and possibly through some winding passageways, but is there any way that we can sense whether we're going towards the center of the city or back out to the exit of the city at all? Or do we have lost our sense of direction?
You do believe you're not exiting the city. You think you're going towards the center, but you're going on the opposite end of the city.
Okay.
And Talakash, the way you've been here more often, other than Talakash and Elliot have been here the most. You guys get the sense that the Noble District was on the east side. You guys have been continually heading west to the Church District.
Oh. Well, good. Although I don't know the Church District from whatever district, but...
Yeah, the Church District is west from where you guys have started.
If I knew that secretly, I would think maybe there's a priest who can cast resurrection. And I would be happy.
This is definitely interesting indeed. Must be a problem dealing with something of our expertise. I specialize in dealing with vampires. How about the rest of you?
I have no specialty per se, as I deal with all manifestations of evil and strive to fight demons of all kinds.
Investigating the school of magic, commonly known as necromancy, and the undead world.
Mern is going to grab some of his cloth and show that it's like demon hide. Then he will point to some amulets that are of the Fae, and then he will also gesture to some articles of clothing that are made from elementals. Oh, God.
I bow my head with a little bit of respect to Murin and say, indeed, your attire speaks volumes itself. It seems that the trinkets you carry tell stories of your exploits.
I just hope we don't have to play charades all the time to get his point across.
I hope all those creatures that are adorned over you were all evil and vile beings.
Necessary.
Understood.
Sorry.
You can justify a lot of things by it being necessary. But I don't suppose you're going to explain yourself.
He will zip his lips again.
We can only hope, friends, that redemption only requires a larger volume of good be put into the world than evil, as I'm sure none of our souls are completely clear of sin.
Mirren, as you guys are walking, and the way with the candlestick and this hooded figure, this seems a little familiar to you.
Is this reminiscent of when I crossed the plains?
Not when you cross the plains. This is kind of reminiscent of a certain figure that you could give me a religion check.
lantern lady?
Yes, this is very reminiscent of the god or the goddess known as the Lantern Lady, who is a guide for the lost. But this you might believe the way he's holding the candlestick, the way he's dressed, not speaking or anything like that. He may be a worshiper, and sometimes they are tasked to guide people.
Okay. I release a little bit of tension in my shoulders.
Eventually, the figure walks up to another wall, presses his hand up against it, and opens the door, and you see some stairways going up. And he steps aside, and he looks like he's waiting for you to enter.
Oh, it's gonna yawn and Elliot's gonna yawn like, "Ugh, I got up at 2 a.m. to go for a walk and more stairs. This better be good." And then he'll start up the stairs.
Okay.
Mern will follow.
I will follow.
All right.
Is the figure still standing there as we pass him by?
Yes.
I would like to pat him on the head and say, "You've been a good carrier pigeon."
You get no response. And as did all four of you say you entered into the stairs?
Yeah, I passed by before everyone else did.
Okay. Once Amadi enters in, the door is closed behind you, and the hooded figure did not enter in behind.
Elliot turns around. Oh no, he locked us in. I'm so surprised.
I'm waiting for the creepy music to play in the
Companion
background.
of mine.
Does the dog smell anything? I ask Elliot.
Elliot, what kind of dog do you have?
It's a mastiff.
Give me 1 second.
I've come to trust the instincts of animals. I'm sure if there was something awry, the dog might be the first to know.
Mern will grab his head and he will pull out his silver scimitar and he says, "Moment." And he will touch everybody in the room with the tip of his sword. Seeing as there is no reaction, he will put it away.
Okay. Awesome.
So should I go by Sir Elliot now?
I do feel like I've been knighted.
Elliot, there should be now a mastiff in your handout, on your side.
Alright, I'll go check it out.
It should be in characters.
I hope my horse is okay.
So you guys walk up the stairs, and eventually you find this wooden door. And this wooden door, it doesn't seem pretty. It seems actually pretty pristine, what it looks like.
So before we go too much further, does Grim, the dog, give any interaction or any reaction to anything bad that Amadi asked for?
Your dog seems pretty calm, just tired. He wasn't growling at the hooded figure. He wasn't he wasn't giving any indication that there's somebody over in the dark in the sewer area or whatnot. So he seems pretty calm.
I'm curious about something. Since you did wake us up in the middle of the night, would we not have benefited? Are we not considered full rested, or are we considered full rested?
Right now you have a full rest.
Okay. I want to look at the door closely, like shining my gem of brightness upon it, and see if there is any symbols engraved into the door, specifically looking for the symbol that might match the one that was on my letter.
You can give me a perception check.
Okay. That's an 11.
You're double checking. You're going up and down. You do not believe that there is a symbol, even though it is finally made. But you think that this door was made not to have a symbol on it, like to give away whose place this is.
An inconspicuous door. I will back away and say I don't think this is dangerous at all. But I see no other passageways that we could take, so I guess I assume this is the direction we go. What do the rest of you think?
I walk up and knock. I think we should just enter if...
That is customary, is it not? I chuckle.
You knock and you don't get a response.
I then proceed to slowly open the door.
Is it locked?
It is not locked.
Well, then it's not breaking and entering. If it's not locked.
Murren will go out. He goes, "We enter."
You open the door and you find yourself in a corridor. You seem like to be in a church. It seems like to be one of the grander churches.
I want to look around and see if I can figure out which church it is.
I was going to do the same.
You guys can...
And while they do that, I divine sense just to make sure the ground is still consecrated.
You can give me... Okay, you do your divine sense, and anybody else, you can give me perception checks.
Wow, I'm on fire tonight.
Talcash, this place is radiating with concentration. You're like almost blinded by how much it is. And you guys, you're looking around and you... Oh, it's a little loud. I think I did say concentration. It is concentrated. You guys believe that this is probably you guys may be in the main cathedral of Bahamut that is here in the Imperial City.
So I have never been in a church this vast. So I will, even though I don't necessarily believe in worshiping the gods, I do know that they exist and recognize their power and benevolence, at least the good ones. So I will bow in reverence to whatever symbol of Bahamut might be displayed in the church, and then just stand there in awe of the construction around me. I mean, I am a carpenter after all, so this is pretty impressive.
All right. So what do you guys do? You do see you do come out from one of the side doors and whatnot, and you do up ahead. You do see like the main altar area, like where the priest would be and everything like that when he's giving his sermons.
Is it well lit in here? Like in the image, all the candles are lit?
Yes, especially up front.
I will go ahead and dismiss I'll dismiss my gem of brightness as light.
I'd walk up to the main altar, kind of pull my blade out in ceremonial, knightly way as I kneel down. I say a silent prayer to Bahamut before standing up again.
All right.
Is there anyone in the room?
After Talcash, do you guys follow Talcash up to the front?
Yeah,
I'm going to look at the room first.
Right now, you guys seem to be the only ones in the room.
Okay. Yeah, I would follow Talcash up to the front altar. I wouldn't necessarily perform the same ritual as him, but I would then just call out after Talcash is done. I look to everybody else and see if they want to also perform some ritual of some kind, and if they do not, I would say hello, Is anyone here?
When you go back to call out, and after Talakash is done, you see the side door up front open up, and out walks a figure. This figure is a silver dragonborn dressed, adorned with priest vestments, and he is holding a magnificent staff. And following him are two kobolds, again of silver colored, and they are like dressed in like choir boys and whatnot. And Talcash, you know that this is the high priest here in the Bahamut, in the city. It's like he sits on the high council with the emperor.
So do we know him by name?
Yes, you would have heard of his name. His name is Silver Scale.
Nandala Du. I'm just pretending I'm saying in Draconic, good evening, Lord Silver Scales.
I know I'm shitty at names, but oh well.
I can understand you, no matter what freaking language you speak. I love it. I too speak Dragonborn.
I was gonna look at you guys speaking the dragon tongue and be like, at least I could understand him, and point at Mern, like, at least I could understand him.
That's why I was waiting for Murin to use some kind of like code language, and I'd be like, hey, I know that language too.
Yeah, well, Murren doesn't speak Draconic either.
The Silver Scale will respond in Draconic, but he will say, we shall keep to the common tongue for the rest of our compatriots here.
Of course.
It is nice to make your acquaintance, Holy Reverence. Is it you who have summoned us here?
I did not personally summon you, no. We are still waiting for two others, and they should be here shortly.
Job.
You wouldn't happen to know why we needed to arrive by dusk if we weren't to be summoned until the middle of the night, would you?
All will be explained in a bit. And after he says that, the door on the opposite end over here, to the left. You guys are like in the center. He approached to the right, and on the left, the door opens up. And out comes this fully plated soldier. This is a paladin, but he is recognized as he is the Imperial General to the army, to the Imperial army.
Murren will whistle at this important person.
And behind him walks out the Emperor.
Ah! Your Majesty! And I bow to him.
Eric will also bow to such authority.
As will I.
Murren as well.
Now that we have all gathered, let us begin. I appreciate you coming out of all this way to my summons. We, the Empire, have in need of your skills.
How may we be of service, my liege?
This is not only a problem for the Empire, this is also a personal problem. My family has been attacked on a few occasions, and we have been trying to take care of the situation.
Who is it that has been attacking your family?
We do
If
not,
you don't mind me.
yeah, we do not know her true name, but she calls herself Sally.
Could not your guards deal with this? Why are we required?
This situation has been going on for years. My brother-in-law has made this his personal goal, as Sally has killed his wife.
Is this something that you want handled discreetly so the general public doesn't know of these attacks against your family?
This particular assignment, I ask, it will be handled discreetly.
I assume that if the general public knew that you could not defend your own family, that you would be seen as a weak emperor, and we wouldn't want that.
Some of the public knows of the official statements that have been made regarding certain situations. However, over the years, a situation has arisen that we have not been able to solve until hopefully now.
May I ask, you said she's been a problem for years. How many? How long has she been attacking the royal family?
Too long. She killed again my brother-in-law's wife, Corsati, and so her husband has made it his personal mission to hunt her down.
And what can you tell us of her? What are her... When you say killed, how was she found dead? Is there something strange in her passing?
What is Sally?
It seemed like her death was not strange, more like she was targeted. There was a fight, but unfortunately Sally prevailed. As to what Sally is, to your question, she is, we believe, an archdevil.
I clench my fist, as I hate devils.
Mern will rub a hand against his throat, and then it will slide down to brush off his demon hide hood.
I was just gonna scratch grin. It's okay.
Devils do not belong in the prime plane with mortals. I would be glad to assist you in this endeavor.
As will I.
You will
this
not.
Blade is perfect for striking them down.
You will not be hunting Sally herself. You will be requiring a different target that will help in her demise. You see, if you... Oh, go ahead.
Target.
You see, a few years ago, my brother, Axel, has been pursuing her. He caught up to her however, she placed upon him a curse. And with that curse, he is unable to directly harm her. However, the curse works both ways. He cannot harm her, but in the end, she cannot harm him.
Where is Axel now? It seems like he could tell us a lot more than you could.
His whereabouts at the moment are unknown.
Would we recognize the name of Axel?
You guys can give me a general intelligence check.
Well, that's the same as making a history check since I'm not proficient in it.
Right.
So there you go. I got a 20.
Post history, I would have preferred that. I am proficient.
This wouldn't be a historical check. I mean, he hasn't done. There's no historical text. But
okay.
with common knowledge is Axel is indeed the brother-in-law to the emperor. His sister married into the imperial family, and you know that the general right behind you is his brother. So this is the general. This is a family matter. The general.
Murray will nod, as in making it look like, yes, I know him. He was a good man, but I have no idea who they're talking about.
Yeah, Amadi. You have heard tales of Axel. He has actually traveled the world chasing after a woman, and he has actually crossed through your lands a couple times. So you have definitely heard of him. You also
Excellent.
You also with your 20 heard of something else that he may have kind of similar to you, but also he relies after this incident on dark forces to help him aid him. It's only rumors though; nothing has been confirmed.
Okay, but I might have a suspicion that he also might be harboring a dark power inside him that he uses to accomplish his missions.
Yes.
Then I would empathize with him as a person. Like I would want to do whatever I can to help him because I know how hard it is to carry around evil inside you.
Where do you suggest we start?
And who is this target that'll help harm Sally?
This will be. He kind of grits his teeth. Sally and Axel's daughter.
Excuse me?
Their doctor, as Sally has come to call her. See, what happened was she took a piece of Axel, his right arm, and took a piece of her, used dark magic to form this child, to which holds the curse that they are inflicted upon.
Hearing this abomination, Mern is immediately turns to Elliot questioningly.
Creating life out of two different body parts. That's very interesting. Is this some sort of construct? Or I'm dead? Or some new form of life? It's very interesting.
And he wishes this child of his to be destroyed as well?
Yes. He would do it himself, but her daughter has been in hiding for several years until recently.
I see. Where is she?
In the dark wood forest here in the Empire.
Something tells me this is a taunt. Could she be expecting arrivals?
She was hit again. We've been searching for her whereabouts for years as Axel has continued to hunt down and try to slow down Sally's goals, which we have yet to find out what they are. Her motives are unknown to us. And again,
Other than simply bringing down the royal family could be motive enough, could it not?
we do believe there is something behind that, but I don't think we do suspect that is not her ultimate goal.
This does sound like a trap. Not able to find this child for so many years, and suddenly here she is. Definitely sounds like a trap.
Once we've only found it by chance. And once the report came in, we sent in soldiers. Discreetly, of course. We sent 16 armed men into the forest.
How many returned?
One. And he was babbling about what was going on. That the men were being butchered, played with, toyed with, and like it was nothing but, forgive my pun, child's play.
And what name does this child go by?
Agatha.
And the curse lies within her?
She is the curse.
I wonder what would happen if someone casted a remove curse upon her body.
We don't know. We sent the men in, and one returned half alive. He was missing an eye, so he was pretty scuffed up. But after what's going on, it takes 16 good men. We do, like you said, we do believe that this is a trap.
Well, please, waste no more of your men on this task, for the four of us have certainly seen dangers similar to this on our travels, and I can only speak for myself, but I would be glad to help put an end to this mystery.
Which is why we have asked for your help and your specialties. Mirren, with you being able to travel the plains. Amadi, you being able to harness dark powers yourself. Talcash being able to handle himself with the specifically vampires and blood curses. And Elliot being able to handle, again, more dark creatures.
Vern will place a hand on his chest, a fist on his chest, and he goes, "Duty!" And then he will again stroke the demon hide, and he goes, "Specialty."
We do not ask for this, of course, for free, of course. And the two kobolds run off to the side of the door, and they each come back in their hands, and they're kind of hefty sacks of coins. And they hand them to the priest, to Silver Scale, and he brings up and he sets them down on the table in front of you. 500 platinum to start. Another 5 if you come back alive, and the job is done.
Elliot speaks up. I also want access to the necromancer school research.
We figured you would ask that, and we have, if you succeed, we will write a recommendation that will get you in.
Elliot nods in approval. Yes.
The small fortune is pleasing enough, my lord, but I might ask if I could have counsel with Lord Silver Scale, whatever his name is,
yeah,
the Bahamut priest. If I should return alive and successful, I would just wish to have counsel with your priest.
If it revolves your lost loved one, we can we can do what we can to help assist you with that.
Well, okay, but nobody would know that.
I'm just going to tap the coins, and then he will tap
reading.
The on his shoulder is a tattoo of like the Illuminati symbol of it's the all-seeing eye, and goes, "To Guild."
If you wish your funds to go there, yes, we can do that.
The only other request I may have is that if you have any information of any vampire hordes, that you let me know of them.
Oh, we will. If you come back, we will aid you as well in your quests, whatever you need, within our power, of course.
I bow at that. So then, when should we all get started?
If I kind of raise my hand, if it pleases my lords, I did kind of run out of the room in my pajamas. Is it at all possible for me to retrieve some things from my room before we start?
I would ask for you to leave in the morning, and it will take you a few days to get there. But we have more to aid you in this endeavor, as we want to make sure you are prepared. And we go. So the two kobolds leave the room again, and they come back. They each, in their hands, they come out. Each in their hands have a potion, and as well as necklaces.
Oh, excellent.
You each receive 2 potions of superior healing. And these necklaces, you look on, they're very simply made, but they each in the center have a diamond. The necklace, so much else to speak of. The necklaces provided, if something unfortunate will happen to you, will revive you. But it will only, once it has been used up, it won't happen again. So these necklaces, for game-wise, mechanic-wise, they're necklaces of revivification. Once you hit 0 on your next turn, or not, you will be revived with full HP.
With full HP?
Yes.
Nice. If you fail your 3rd death save, you mean?
Yes. If you're like dead and whatnot.
Okay.
It will be on your next turn if you're in combat or whatnot.
You get 1 free life. We get 1 up.
Yes. It will only revive your HP. It won't bring back any resources.
Yeah. It doesn't give you a full rest. Okay. You said it's potion of superior healing?
You each get 2 potions of superior healing.
So that's 8d4 plus 8. Because that's not in the compendium, so I can't drag and drop that one.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I have the Dungeon Master's Guide, so...
2 potion of superior.
You wouldn't happen to tell me where you got these necklaces, would you?
I made them myself.
I would love to see your research sometime.
Do you have any other questions regarding your assignment? And if you wish to back out now's the time to do so.
Are you able to divulge from the one surviving guard what this Agatha's capabilities are? What does she look like? What should we expect?
He just described her as a little girl that came out of a horror story. Long, black, spindly claws, long arms, and a black smile. But he's also saw... But I guess he was mainly down in their cellar in the basement, and there he saw his allies being strapped to a table and being butchered and tormented. But for somehow he was escaped. But we do not believe he escaped on his own. We believe he was let go.
Feels more and more like a trap the longer we talk to you.
Being a little, Agatha does seem like a little girl, so being trapped all alone, she must have gotten bored. She probably just wishes for new playthings, as the soldier had kept describing, that they were nothing but her playthings.
Well, it's time to end her games.
Death necessary.
By Bahamut's will, I will bring vengeance.
They bow after you say that. Does anybody else have any questions or want to say anything?
So, where do we begin? Do we already discuss this on where we start?
What was that?
Do you have plans for us to, do you have a place for us to start our investigation?
We will provide you a map of where it was last seen. We were able to barely get out with the soldier. You'll be provided one on your departure tomorrow, or later today.
Okay, I guess we go and expect a play date tomorrow.
It will take you a few days to get to the dark wood forest, so...
Fantastic.
Dangers, Darkwood.
I'm sorry, what?
Dangers, Darkwood.
Nothing that your normal forest might have. Wild animals and stuff like that. But now that we know where she is, there may be more.
Nothing I don't think the four of us could handle.
I pray that you are able to.
Mern will bow and he says, "We go."
Just go back down the door you came and knock.
Yep.
Knock
I bid them a good night and agree.
Knock 3 times on the wall, and you will be escorted back to the inn.
Ooh, does my friend the carrier pigeon escort us back?
The guy is there waiting for you.
Excellent. He's a good little servant. I do ask, though, while we're walking back to the room, are you the one who visited me, and when are you the same who delivered the message?
You don't get a response from him. You don't think that these guys are very talkative. They just go from one place to another, do what they're told. You know, if they are asked to help out, they don't provide any information.
I'm wondering if there's some kind of summoned help. Okay.
You guys make your way back to the inn. You are escorted to each of your rooms where the door is closed but not locked.